This is the Saturday Morning Serial Podcast with your host, Amanda Ann. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Saturday Morning Serial. I'm Amanda, and today I am so excited to just talk about my experience this past week at C2E2. It's a big Comic-Con here in Chicago. It's pretty large. And if you think of like San Diego Comic-Con, New York Comic-Con, this is pretty much at that level. So I actually went around and I interviewed some artists and some cosplayers. And yeah, I'm going to put that audio in here. But before we dive into that, I do want to say that happy Spider-Man release week. So exciting. We are seeing it Thursday night, and we are going to have a big Spider-Man discussion next weekend because it's actually the season finale of season 2 of this podcast already. It's crazy, right? So what better way to end than with Spider-Man? But anyway, I went to C2E2 on Friday and yesterday and had a really great time. So Friday was the first day, and I went around and I interviewed some artists and some cosplayers. Honestly, I mean, there was a lot of good cosplays on Friday, but I think it was just because it was the first day. People were kind of draggy a little bit and tired. But Saturday, which was yesterday, I'm recording this on Sunday, by the way, but yesterday was Saturday, and there were just so many good cosplayers, and it's like a lot of them you'll hear say, it's just a sense of community with just loving your fandom and just being a complete pop culture junkie like myself. So these Comic-Cons are just so great because I cosplayed as kind of just like a Loki variant. Honestly, it was just like an outfit thrown together with Loki horns, but it just felt so good just to be like your favorite character, and it's almost comforting in a way. I don't know. I felt a little confident in it though. Not gonna lie, but yeah, there were so many good Loki cosplays there. Lots of Spider-Man, lots of Wanda. There was also some really good cosplays that like Buddy the Elf, or my personal favorite, and shout out to the couple dressed as Buzz and Jessie. That Buzz Lightyear cosplay was amazing. And for those that listen, Buzz and Jessie are my favorite couple of any movie, and I love Jessie. Jessie's my favorite character. I have so many Jessie things, like my life is Jessie. But yeah, that was probably my favorite, hands down. But yeah, shout out to all the Lokis that were there. I saw a Mobius. I saw a kid dressed like Kid Loki with an alligator. I mean, it was just fantastic. Saw lots of Thors. There was a lot of Miles Morales. Oh my gosh. And then the artists that were there, all of them. I mean, I just adore Artist Alley because I'm all about supporting the arts, and I bought a couple pieces. I bought 2 from Brianna Garcia, who is one of my favorite Loki artists out there. So I was very, very happy to get some of her artwork. I also, and you'll hear in a second, his interview from Amourable Art, and I got a Loki piece from that, and I actually already have 2 pieces from him as well. He made a Cinderella Castle and a Hogwarts Castle piece, so I have that hanging up in my room. And some of these cosplayers that you will hear as well, they do have their own little like small business Etsy shops or their own cosplay website. So I will have all the links, all the socials to everybody that you will hear from in the description, and please make sure you check them out and give them a follow because every one of them they're just so amazing. And just Comic-Con in general is just, like I said, it's just such a place of community, a place to meet new people, find some new friends, etc. So without further ado, I'm going to share the interviews that I took this weekend. All right, so can you introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Pat Kenrick. I am the artist for Amourable Art. That's only one part of our business. My wife runs all of the managerial stuff and all of the logistics, and then her mother works for us as well, and she does the inventory control. All I do is the art.
Awesome. I'm actually a big fan of yours because I have 2 pieces already. So can you kind of tell us how you approach your artistic style?
This particular style, it was years in developing, because what I was doing at the time was what pretty much all the other artists were doing. It was just drawing, painting, and selling. And I looked at other artists' work, and they're like really extremely talented. And sometimes you get a little, I guess, you feel like you're not good enough, right? So, and I always criticize my own stuff, and so I was like, you know what, I'm just going to make it real simple. So I cut back on any kind of detail at all, and I was going to go with just a single subject, and I was going to make it minimalistic, and I was going to color it and do as much as I could with doing as little as I could to make it recognizable. And fortunately, it was successful. It happened. People seem to respond very well to it. And I've been very, very lucky that that has happened, because it's a big risk when you go from a traditional style to something that people have not seen or done before. You're either going to fall on your face or you're going to be able to make it. And we were very fortunate that people responded well.
Yeah. And I was just telling you, I've seen you at Indiana Comic Con a few months ago already, October. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So what's your history of Comic Con? Like, when did you first start it, coming to these cons?
Well, I'll give you a quick history. For years, we were doing arts and craft shows. And we would do larger arts and craft shows indoors. We put up a lot of tents in our time and did outdoor shows, but then we moved to indoor arts and craft shows. And while we were at these shows, everyone would come in. Now, the older people would just walk right by us, but the younger people would come through, and they would look through, and they would buy and go, you should really do Comic Cons. And I'm like, what's a Comic Con? Is that like a Star Trek convention? They're like, it's a little bit better than that. So our first Comic Con was in Raleigh, North Carolina, about 4 years ago. And it was really good. We really did well. We did better there than we ever did at an arts and crafts show. So we figured, well, let's try it some more. And our very first big one was here in Chicago at the C2E2. And after that show, we said, we're not going to do arts and crafts shows anymore. We're just going to stay with the comic book conventions. And they're not just comic book conventions, they're pop culture events. So we've been very happy with it.
So C2E2 is kind of like your first major convention.
First major convention was C2E2, and we were very fortunate. The guy who works for Repop, his name is Gabe, and he said he really liked our work, so he put us in this thing called The Block. And it was all the, I guess, special artists that they had, and they put us in there, and I'm like, I'm not worthy, but they put us in there anyway. And it was phenomenal. It was really a very, very good show. And this is our fourth time here at C2E2, and we really, really like it a lot.
Where can people go and find your work at?
Okay, we have a website. It's www.amourableart.com. That's our online store. We used to do Etsy and some other places, but we decided we're just going to stop that and just direct everyone to our website. And again, my wife developed the website. You should really be interviewing her. She does more of this than I do. But yeah, that's our website, and that's how you would find us. Or you can come to any local con, and you'll probably find us there too.
And lastly, what is your favorite part of Comic Con?
There's a lot of it, but I really like the cosplay. I like it. And I like meeting the people who come into my booth, and I talk to them, and it's a relationship between the artist and the buyer, and most of these people end up becoming our friends. And because now I got friends in Philly, in Chicago, Miami, and it's really nice because then I can go to that town and we'll go to dinner or something like that. It's very, very nice. So meeting the people and the cosplay are my favorite parts.
Well, I really, really appreciate you interviewing with us.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it too. Bye, guys.
Would you like to just introduce your store?
So I'm Laura DeCrow. I run Corey's Corner, which has been around since 2000. I think 2008 or 2000. It's been around for a while, but originally it was Stars and Spikes, but I went to Corey's Corner.
So what kind of art medium do you do?
So I do a lot of, usually it's plushies and pillows. So like I've drawn Ein. I usually do a lot of animal characters, but I also just go with a lot of meme things and things that are fun. So kind of like the Spaceballs, the face mask.
So just kind of like a variety of.
Yes, a lot of variety. I also do a lot of Pride, LGBTQIA stuff. Like I started the Pride Market puns, which were viral on TikTok, actually. But yeah, they're all based off of pride flags that are turned into pretty much fruit stand puns.
Awesome. What is your history just with Comic Cons? Like when did you first start coming to Comic Con?
So my first con was San Diego Comic Con, and it was back in 2007. And I've heard about them. I always wanted to go to one. And when I went to one, I was like, wait, I can dress up outside of Halloween? This is fantastic. And so I felt naturally at home. And then after that, it just kind of picked up of, you know what, I love to draw things. I like to be artistic. Let's get into it. And so I started doing them. I started anime cons, My Little Pony cons, and just kept going and going.
So where can people find you on the internet if they would like a piece of your art?
So I am on pretty much everything except for Etsy. So I have a store envy that's small, but I do have a big cartel. They can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, but I think the most popular one that I tend to be around is Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter mostly.
Awesome. And finally, what is your favorite part of Comic-Con?
My favorite part is definitely the cosplays and then geeking out with people on those certain cosplays, because it's kind of like a way to introduce yourself in a very specific way.
Only the way fandom nerds like us can understand. Definitely.
Especially the really unique costumes. Like I've seen Red Dwarf cosplayers before, and it's like, oh good, somebody who actually knows the British television show that not as many people here know. And we just instantly bond on it.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for doing this. Appreciate it. So what is your name?
My name is Nick Swartz. You can find me as Dr. Paschetti on stuff sometimes. But yeah.
And what's your name?
My name is Sarah Koziel.
And did you guys come here together as friends or?
No. We've been together 6 years.
Oh, wow.
This is his 10th time at C2E2, right? And my 5th, I think.
Okay.
5th or 6th? I think 5th. 6th? I don't know.
I don't know.
So I'm really curious, how did you come about wanting to cosplay as Buzz and Jessie? Because you guys look amazing today.
So I think Toy Story came out when I was like 5 years old. So, I mean, it's a 25-year dream come true.
Wow, you guys look so good. So what is your favorite part of Comic-Con?
Seeing everyone's cosplays, and just like the sense of community amongst cosplayers and people who come to conventions in general. It's like you'll meet a stranger, but like it'll feel like you've known them for years somehow, you know? What about you?
It's the one place where I like having attention on myself, and I feel comfortable.
And the cosplaying makes us feel like celebrities.
Yeah.
Because you're interviewing us right now, so we feel super special.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, you guys look great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for doing this little blurb. All right, we're gonna cut it. Here with like some really great cosplayers here. I'm gonna have you guys introduce yourselves.
Sure. Hi, I'm Lucky Elephant Cosplay as Elf Loki.
DCW Builds as Fallout 4 Soul Survivor.
Alucard 1017 as Christmas Aizawa.
Hi, I'm Goob Cosplay and I'm Fat Gum.
Neo Mercy Sletzifer as Santa Thor.
As you can see, we are in the Christmas spirit. And what made you guys decide on these cosplays today?
That's a great question. I figured it was close enough to Christmas that we would kind of do a little bit of a mashup with the holiday and something that I already had in the closet, so we didn't have to spend an arm and a leg on a new costume.
Always a good thing.
I chose this because I love Fallout, and then it's very comfortable before I switch to my more uncomfortable armors. So, gotta get the most out of it.
This is a costume I made for a different convention, so since I already had it, didn't have to do any extra work.
I'm cosplaying Fat Gum because he's great. That's all.
I did a mashup with my girlfriend as Lucky Elephant Cosplay and DCW builds for the chest armor, and having a fun time.
And what do you guys like most about Comic-Con?
Getting to hang out with friends, going to the panels, and definitely walking Artist Alley.
Absolutely. What do you guys like most about Comic-Con?
Oh my God. It's the people. It's the heart. It's the magic of the community, the coming togetherness that you feel here. It's like a drug. It's like we're high together on a drug, and we are.
Anything else?
I was going to say, definitely off of that, the community, cosplay, every single person in this group I met just through cosplay, and now we've been friends for a couple of years at this point, so cosplay and all the friends we meet along the way.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. We appreciate it. You guys take care. Merry Christmas. Your favorite part of Comic-Con?
I think my favorite part is seeing everybody have their art, and it's in their own style, and you just get to like see it on display, and they just get to sell it and expand everything. And seeing everybody in cosplay, like, you don't see that every day, and it's so pretty. Some people are so creative and they take it so high, and it's like you can't imagine of reaching that level.
Yeah.
And everything's just so beautiful, and everybody's so nice.
What's your favorite fandom?
Oh, that's hard. Let me think about that.
What's your favorite fandom? Your favorite cartoon? Do you have a favorite actor?
I don't know.
What are you wearing on your shirt?
Yeah, who's that?
Hunter x Hunter.
Okay. Cool.
I gotta say mine's like Attack on Titan.
Okay.
But it's so sad. Oh my God.
And are you having fun today at Comic-Con?
Yeah.
What's your favorite part?
The cosplays.
Yeah, good answer. Good answer. Yeah. Well, thank you guys. I'm here with Amy, and Amy, what is your favorite part of Comic-Con?
I just love dressing up and doing cosplays. I am an actor and a model, so for me, this is like, hey, the roles I see on TV that I kind of want to play, I can, jump into them.
Who are you wearing today?
Alice from Batwoman.
And what's your favorite part of Comic-Con?
Again, it's the networking, it's seeing all the different cosplays. Like I just saw Romy and Michelle. I've never seen a Romy and Michelle. So
people like just dive into that. It's crazy. Awesome. And like, what is your biggest fandom?
It's definitely the Arrowverse. I do Supergirl every year. Like tomorrow, I'll be Supergirl. Every year, that is the mainstay. So my other fandoms are not exactly like, sci-fi or Comic-Con related, but I'm a huge Duran Duran fan. So seeing the Funko Pops here are awesome, even though I own them. Big 80s person, so like Jim and the Holograms, and other stuff that, because this is C2E2 and it's entertainment, not just comics. Like I'm big into like some of the cheesy, CW shows like Gossip Girl, Dynasty, those kind of cheesy type things. That's kind of my fandom.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for just saying a few words on the podcast here and letting us talk to you.
Awesome.
Thank you. All right, I am here with Ryan Grace. And Ryan, do you want to promote what you do?
So myself and Randy Hogan do a business called Hogan's Heroes, Collectibles, and Comics. And what we do is he posts things on Facebook every once in a while. He'll have claim sales and auction posts, and people go on Facebook and bid from there. He also does conventions all of the time. We just did one in Kankakee County called CollectorCon last month. They have another one coming up in March. We're doing one in Indiana in February of next year, and there's another one in March that we're doing. That's a 3-day festival. So we go out and we do conventions like these. They're not nearly as big, but we do make some connections there, and we have some artists. He also sells some original artwork, so if you want to check that out, you can just Facebook Hogan Heroes Collectibles, and we'll get you started from there. You can also find him as Randy Hogan on Facebook, or myself as Ryan Grace.
Awesome, and I will have those links in the description as well, so if you want to check that out. And Ryan, what is your favorite part of Comic-Con?
My favorite part of Comic-Con is people watching, seeing all the different convention outfits, seeing all the different people interacting. Everyone's in such a good mood here. I love it. There's such a good community vibe. So that's my favorite part about it.
Awesome. And one last question, because I'm asking everybody this. What is your favorite fandom?
My favorite fandom is Marvel, specifically Ghost Rider and Moon Knight, especially with that TV show with Oscar Isaac coming out. Woo! I love it, as you can see.
Yes. Exciting, exciting. Well, thank you, Ryan. I appreciate it.
Anytime. Have a good one, guys.
So like I said, I will have all of their links and social medias in the description. Please click on them, give them a like. Also, I am going to be posting a vlog from my experience at C2E2 with these interviews in it as well, so you don't want to miss that. I will have that probably about like Wednesday or like the end of the week. So yeah. Anyway, like I said, next week is Spider-Man. Everything, everyone, every whatever in the world is going to be so excited for Spider-Man. So we are going to have a group discussion for my season finale, and it's just so crazy how it's December, it's Christmas, and it's the end of season 2 is here already. Wow. So anyway, I hope you guys have a great week, and I will talk to you next time.